Hold up.
Every day I wake up, wake your ass up.
The Breakfast Club.
Y'all finished or y'all done?
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Loren LoRosa is here as well. We got a special guest in the building.
Yes, indeed.
We got the good brother Lecrae. What's up, brother?
What's happening, man?
How you feeling, man?
I'm good, man. It's good to be here with y'all.
Good to see you, brother.
Yeah,
I was
for
listening
sure.
to Reconstruction, man, and I told them earlier, I said, if Lecrae wasn't a quote-unquote Christian rapper,
Yeah.
they would have to put this in Rap Album of the Year category.
Wow, that's big.
I truly believe that.
That's big.
Like, this is a phenomenal body of work.
I appreciate that, man. Like, yeah, man. I mean, you know, you live what you live with. You know, how they meet you is how they see you. So it's like they met me in the four walls of the church. So, you know, that's the box. But I'm a product of hip hop. So, you know what I'm saying? It's all love. But I appreciate that. That means a lot, bro.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I want to start off with diving into the album. First of all, how long did it take you to do this album? Because this album is, you could tell you took a lot into doing this album.
Yeah.
I mean, even to the beat selection, and it sounds like a movie.
Because you ain't dropped in a few years.
Right.
Yeah, I ain't put out an album in a minute. Yeah. It took me a while. I just, you know, we pieced it together. You know what I'm saying? We pieced it together. I was real meticulous and just like, you know what I mean? Let me really like push the boundaries and stretch stuff out. I was giving S1 a headache. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, can you add a little bit? Can you tweak this? Can you do this? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it took me a little while, but it was worth it, man. People rush music these days, man. They just make like disposable music, and I just felt like it's time out for all that.
Are you tired of being put in that box? That you're, I don't want to say people don't take you serious, but they look at you a certain way where they should just look at you as an artist, a hip hop artist.
I would appreciate it. I would appreciate if they listen. You call me what you want to call me.
You're a hip hop artist, like,
but listen.
you're a rapper.
Yeah, just listen to the music. I don't care if you want to call me whatever, gospel rapper, Christian rapper, listen. That's it. Because I think there's a misnomer. People get it twisted and they think that the music gonna sound like this, or, you know what I'm saying? I'm still scarred from, like, I went to an NBA practice and like back when I did my first Church Clothes mixtape, and I handed a player my joint and he was like, I don't listen to no gospel rap. I was like, bruh. You know what I'm saying?
You probably had a horrible season that season.
Well, yeah, listen, I'm not gonna mention no names.
It's like when somebody give you a Jesus pamphlet in the street and you look at it and
You can't throw it out.
you can't throw that away.
You can't throw that out. You got to give it to somebody else. You can't throw it out.
Yeah, man. So I don't like that. I don't like that people say it's corny. I'm like, bro, I don't know where you even got this. Like, when's the last time you just sat and listened to a body of work to even create this like idea of it? So, you know, but as long as you listen, I don't care.
When I listened to it, it was my first time listening to one of your full projects.
Yeah.
I definitely expected something different because of the name.
Yeah.
Reconstruction.
Oh, yeah.
Especially because I think of you as a gospel rap artist.
Damn. He just said he don't want to be there.
I mean, I'm just saying, like,
But
it just
it's
happens
love.
naturally.
Yeah.
So I thought Reconstruction, gospel rap artist, I thought it was going to be very, like, kind of like rap, but altar call-ish. It wasn't that. It was more about your story, right?
Yeah.
Why the name Reconstruction?
A lot of different reasons. So Reconstruction is like, it's a theme. It's thematic for my life and what I've experienced. But it's also just the era we living in. We dispose people. We throw them away. So like, you see what happened at the Coldplay concert with the HR and the
CEO.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? And it was like, social media was excited to destroy them, like tear them down. They was wrong for a lot of reasons. First, anyway, I'm not even gonna get into why they was wrong, but
No, go ahead.
I mean, first of all, bro, what is you doing? Why you wrapped up at the? I mean, you was wrong for cheating on your wife, but you really wrong. You wild for like being booed up, hugged up like that in public. You a whole CEO.
Yeah.
Like, you tripping.
Yeah.
But the way social media was excited to destroy them is like, that's what we get excited about. And my homie Mike D, he was tearing apart a treehouse in his backyard. And he was doing it piece by piece, like, let me be careful, because he didn't want to just demolish it, because he wants to reuse that wood. And that's what I feel like Reconstruction is about. Is like, God don't just want to destroy people. He wants to reconstruct them, reuse them. I work in prisons all the time. I was in a prison not too long ago, and there was a dude in there, and I don't condone none of the stuff he did. You know, he did some heinous things. They whooped him, they beat him up when he first got there. But over the course of his years there, like, he's been influential. He's changed people's lives. He's done and how long do we gotta like be looked at as this terrible human being before it's like something different can happen with him? So that's kind of why I did Reconstruction. The second reason why is because, you know, the Reconstruction era in American history is a time period where disenfranchised people were able to come up from the rubble and make a difference in society. So it's like both pieces.
I've heard you also speak about deconstructing your faith before. So what did you discover about God, I guess, when you stripped away religion that made you want to do a reconstruction?
I caught a lot of flack from the evangelical church when black bodies were being laid in the street, and I was very open about it. And people was like really hated that I was standing up for social issues, and it gave me a lot of tension with the church, with the broader church, American church. And so I was like, well, maybe this whole thing is wrong. So I was ready to throw it all away. I went to Egypt, and I got to see like some of the Christians over there, and it was different. I got to read about Ethiopia and see how Christianity was not started in America. It's not this white man's religion. It's something that existed outside of the European narrative. And, shout out to my white brothers and sisters, but I'm just saying it's a lot of things have been co-opted. It's not like this European religion. So I had to tear down these like American ideas of what God is, what church is, and reconstruct from the perspective that the Bible really gives it. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like eating mom's spaghetti. Like if you got the recipe from 25 years ago and now you leaving out stuff, that ain't the same recipe. And I feel like the faith, so much stuff has been left out. So I just wanted to rebuild on the foundation. Jesus is my foundation. And let's rebuild this thing in a healthier way. And that's what Reconstruction looks like.
Man, in the first track, you talk about being church hurt. And it's so interesting because I was just having a conversation with my good sister, Debbie Brown, yesterday, and she was talking about religious trauma. The trauma people have experienced from being in the church, right? Like, what is church hurt to you?
Church hurt is, when the people that you expect to serve you well, the people that you expect to become your family and love you well, let you down. But it happens everywhere, right? It's not just in the church. It could be, I remember when the Game was crying because he thought hip hop was gonna be something that it wasn't. You know what I'm saying? And it's like he was hip hop hurt. You know what I mean? People have expectations and the expectations ain't met. And I think the problem is we blame God. And that's not a God hurt, that's a people hurt. People let you down. God didn't. You know what I'm saying? So I think people turn their back on church because of that. And for me, man, I ain't getting sponsored by Chipotle, but I love Chipotle. They good. But certain Chipotles, they don't be seasoning that food right. It don't make me say I hate Chipotle. I'll never go to Chipotle again. I may not go to that one, or I may not go when Buddy working behind, but I still love Chipotle. So I think that's what people do with God and with church. Like, oh, they had a terrible experience. I'm done with God. My mom, she grew up in a very religious world like that. She was done. She didn't raise me in church because she was like, they burnt me too bad. So, we had to work through that trauma with her. So I get it. Yeah.
For people that don't know, you said your mom didn't raise you in church. So how did you become, and you've talked about 1,000,001 times, but how did you become the way that you become if you weren't raised in church? Because people would automatically assume, oh, he must have been born in church. He was on church on Tuesdays or Wednesdays. He did this, and Thursday he did Bible study. Like, so break that down.
Nah, I was a straight hippie. My mom was a hippie. She had a Buddha in the room. She was blazing, like, no real thoughts of who God was, the universe, everything. She was just a wild hippie. So that's how I grew up. And then I just was searching. I studied Rastafarianism because I like to smoke. I studied Islam. I studied a lot of things, and I was really curious. I was seeking. I was kind of like Gen Z. Gen Z is very spiritual. They like, well, I don't know what's up. That's kind of how I was. And I didn't want to mess with Christianity because I felt like it was rigid and it was like suits and ties. But then I went to this conference in Atlanta, and I'm like 19, and I see like dudes with cornrows. I see this group from Philly named Cross Movement, and they was baggy jeans, and they was on the block, and I was like, they had that like 5% of energy, but they was Christians, and I was like, oh, this is crazy. I didn't know this existed. So that intrigued me, and it made me say, well, wait a minute. If these dudes are Christians, maybe there's something to this. And then I listened, and I had an existential experience with God where, my heart got changed, literally, you know what I'm saying? And I trusted in Jesus, and then I was like, now what do I do? You know what I mean? I rap. I like to rap. So the first album I listened to that, to me, was like gospel. I didn't listen to gospel, was a Miseducation Lauryn Hill. Yeah. So I said, I want to do what she doing. And that was kind of like the impetus of me moving forward.
Did you stop smoking weed, or you still enjoy the burning bush from time to time?
Initially, I stopped. Then years down the line, I picked it back up, and then I stopped again.
It's medical now, so.
I mean, it ain't that for me. It's a lot of other things, but it ain't that for me. It's not, I mean, you know, first of all, whether I thought it was okay or not okay, the way my anxiety is set up, I don't need to ever touch nobody's weed.
That's why you do indigo. See, I deal with anxiety. Right?
Okay.
Like I had really bad anxiety, but
Yeah.
sativa would always make me have the worst panic attacks in the world.
Yeah.
But the indigo does the opposite.
See,
You know, you can get it to, it's so medical now, you can get it to where it'll take out the paranoia, take out the, you know, anxiety-inducing effects. Like you can get it damn near custom made the way you want it.
I'ma just meditate.
I do that too.
Just, you know what I'm saying? I'ma just sit and meditate and enjoy the sea breeze. But hey, man, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to dabble. I don't want to play with that one.
I get you. I got
you know, I done had some bad panic attacks before, bro. I wouldn't even want to. I wouldn't want to go back.
You talk about a lot of your life stuff in the album, so I know some of the background, but like church-wise, like because you talk so different than a lot of the church leaders or people that are in faith, do you get anxiety from that? Like when you put out interviews, I watched one you were talking to, I forget, his name is Mike. Y'all were talking about like church denominations and that not being a real thing anymore.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, I could never watch this with my grandma.
Nah, I mean, you just got to know who rock with you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not afraid to just tell the truth. Like after you been in this game for so long, you realize like there's always gonna be a critic. There's always gonna be somebody. And if you don't stand for what you believe in, somebody's gonna knock you off your pivot. I played the game too long. You know, if that makes sense. Like I danced. I remember my first time coming here, I was so nervous. I was like, all right, what I gotta say? Let me not mess this up. And you know, you start feeling like I gotta represent the Christians, I gotta represent the hip hop community, I gotta, you know, and then after a while, you just like, bro, I'm gonna be who God called me to be. And I don't really got time to wrestle with all these weird things. I remember being so like torn, and how do I navigate? Like my first time meeting J.Cole was such an embarrassing moment because I felt like, you saw me, you know what I'm saying? It was like, how do I?
What was the story?
Bro. So we was at a Super Bowl party years back, and now I was tipsy. I was, you know what I'm saying, I was indulging a little too much, but and I no longer drink, by the way. So in case anybody, it ain't a religious thing, it's a sobriety thing. But I approached J. Cole and then I'm like, okay, what do I do? What do I say? That's J. Cole. And then what comes out of my mouth is, hey, bro, do you believe in Jesus? And it was just like, not hello, not what's up, bro. My name's like, it was just like.
What was his
Took him
response?
to the altar real quick.
Oh my God.
You said it like, what's that you claim?
Yeah, that's how I pressed him, like for the kingdom. It was like, I was like, you know what I'm saying? Like I really pressed him. So he was like, I mean, I grew up in church, but I'm processing what I believe, and you know what I'm saying? And I was like, all right. I was like, well, take my number down. He took my number down, and then I was like, he walked away and I said, hey man, you didn't even put my name in your phone. How you gonna call me back? You don't know my name. I really crashing out like an idiot.
So he didn't know who you was.
I said that to him, and he was like, I know who you are, nigga. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, I felt stupid. But it was that era, you know, this is like 10 years ago, but it was that.
Lecrae?
I was stupid. It like just nervous, not knowing who to be, not knowing how to walk in my own identity, not knowing how to be who God called me to be, and I think it just took time for me to get comfortable in my own skin. So I don't really, like you were saying, I don't trip no more when like the religious community may be mad at me, the non-religious community may be mad at me, but
Have you met Cole since then?
I ain't, but
to me, if I was, I'm not gonna front. If I was Cole, I'd be like, yo, Lecrae fake. And I really not say that because I met you drunk as hell.
Yeah, he couldn't tell though.
If you talking like that, like,
maybe.
I think it was given a little.
Maybe.
He ran up on me.
Maybe.
I believe in Jesus.
Maybe.
Like,
I deserve that one.
and y'all haven't spoke at all?
Nah.
I wonder what he thinks of you.
I don't know, bro. I don't know. It was
That's
bad.
crazy.
It was bad, bro. It was bad. But I own it. It's
You own
like
it. Yeah.
I own it. You know what I'm saying? I own my story. It's like
That's kind of what you did to Prince. Same thing.
That is not what I did to
Yes,
Prince.
yes, it is. What's the first thing you said to Prince?
First of all, it is Prince, right?
Yeah.
So one morning he was up here at the radio station, like 5 a.m. Somebody was like, "Yo, Prince is here." I'm like, "Prince? Why would Prince be here?"
yeah.
And we put this station on auto. And we went. And he was walking down the hall with 2 old white women. And he was nice as hell. He came up to us, spoke. And not nice as hell, I'm sorry. He was nice as heaven. And he came up to us.
What's the first thing you said?
I said, I grew up Jehovah's Witness too.
Didn't even say hello.
See?
Didn't say hi.
That's what I did.
He's like,
no,
I grew up Jehovah's Witness too.
It's the same
But I
story,
didn't press
Sean.
him. I was like,
That's what you did. You
was
said
timid.
it was awkward and
Okay, I got you.
awkward.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
awkward.
yeah, yeah.
awkward.
Didn't even say hello.
It's just in the
how
moment you kind of
doing?
just
Yeah.
like,
6 o'clock in the morning. I'm Jehovah's Witness too.
Yeah, but at least, I mean, I had
Now
Prince.
that's
But
religious
that's
trauma.
Prince, though.
No, that's some religious
J.Cole,
trauma.
Prince.
What are you talking about,
He
man?
does.
Come on,
man.
Prince.
let's take a minute
Still
there.
legends.
Can we talk about that for a minute?
The
Religious
Jehovah's
trauma?
Witness?
Yes.
Jehovah's Witness,
and-
that's such religious trauma. That's like, yeah, my brother. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah,
that's
I
cult.
agree. Oh, yeah.
that's cult action. And I know the Jehovah's Witness is gonna come at me for that, but that's a whole cult.
Now, I don't think it's a cult. I have to say that because my mom is still a Jehovah's Witness.
I mean,
He don't mean it. He don't
That's
mean it.
cultish.
you see him? I gotta say because my mom is still there.
Somebody's going to send this to her. I don't think it's a cult, but I understand what you're saying because, like, man, when you a kid and you growing up and everybody else celebrating holidays and you in school.
But
You ringing doorbells.
religion, the term religion, I mean, biblically, religion is like, it's a practice, right? But what we mean in our society is like, it is rules without relationship in a lot of ways. It's like, religion to me is, if you love your wife, you come home with flowers and you say, here's what I'm supposed to give you, sweetheart. That's religious. Relationship is, I was thinking about you all day, baby. I got you some flowers and I just wanted to show you some love. That's relationship. Mm-hmm. So to me, it's like, I came out the womb and I can't have birthday parties and I got to do all these things and button up this. I don't even know if I got a relationship with God. Like, why would I want to be connected to a God who don't want to?
How do you raise kids in religion then? Because I think a lot of people would say that there's like, I mean, you don't have that, right? Because you said your mom didn't really.
Yeah, but I got 3 kids.
But okay, so are you raising your kids in religion and how do you do it then?
You raise them through in a relationship with God.
Yeah, that's how, I mean, I don't, like, hey, kids, we're going to church because I feel like this is the healthiest place for you because I've met God. My daughter's the only one of my kids who's gotten baptized because I'm like, I don't want to force nothing on y'all. Y'all gonna have to make this decision for yourself. This was her decision that she made, and we celebrate that. I've had hard convos with my oldest son who's like, I don't know if I believe this. Would I be a Muslim if I didn't live in this house? And we have those dialogues, and I love those. Like, yeah, let's go there. Let's have these conversations so that he can, but I want him to see the consistency of my life. He's like, nah, Dad, like, he talks about the fruit of the spirit, love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, gentleness, self-control, but then he lives it. He apologizes when he mess up because I done spazzed, but then I come back. And like, he sees that I have a relationship with God, and for him, he's made that decision on his own as well. But it's like, I'm not saying you better. I'm saying this is what I feel like is the healthiest way.
That's why I don't like the whole disfellowshipping at the Kingdom Hall. You know, that's actually what turned me off to it, whether I realized that or not. But as I got older, I realized the reason I was turned off to it is when watching my father get disfellowshipped. My father needed help in that moment. He was dealing with substance abuse issues. And it's like, you don't disfellowship a man for that. And then they make you come to the Kingdom Hall, but nobody speaks to you. And they announce to the whole congregation, such and such has been disfellowshipped from the Kingdom Hall. I'm like, God.
So your pops is in there and they just cancel them right then in front of everybody?
Nobody talks, like, they don't talk to you when you're disfellowshipped.
And how you supposed to heal?
Right.
Wow.
Like, see, I'm saying,
That's
like,
crazy.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't get that. When I was walking down the street yesterday, a dude on the block passed me the flyer, and then he was a street preacher, and he ended up being a dope one. But a lot of times, my issue with street preachers too is it's like, bro, you yelling at people, you condemning people, like you don't even know their names. I got one dude ran up on me as I was leaving a Wu-Tang concert, and he was like, "Lecrae, what are you doing here?" I was like, enjoying some music. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, but then he was blasting me and blasting people around him. So I walked up to this table and I'm like, bro, he was in an argument with another dude. And I said, yo, my man, what's your name? And the dude he was arguing with told me his name. I said, where you from? He told me where he's from. I said, word, man, you want to get together sometime, maybe get coffee and talk about what you believe? He's like, I'm down. I said, how about you try that, my guy? Instead of yelling at him and telling him he's going to hell.
Wow.
You know what I mean? But it's like, that's the stuff I can't fool with. Like, it's like, there ain't no relationship in that.
How do you maintain faith in a culture like hip hop that often monetizes your trauma but resists your healing?
Ooh. That's a deep one right there, bro. I think there's irresponsibility. I get it. You a young dude off the block. This is an opportunity for you to get a check. the industry, the powers that be say, hey, tell that story 5 more times and you're going to get more checks. And you don't know enough about who you are, your own identity, your value, your self-worth to even understand. Like, I'm being like, you know, used. But I don't think that's how hip hop started. That wasn't the how it initiated. It was us as griots in the community telling what was going on around us, not like trying to like capitalize off it's trauma porn. You know what I'm saying? So I don't like that. And so that's why I do bring the healing side. That's when, even when I collaborate with other artists, like, you know, when I did a song with Waka back in the day, and I was like, let's talk about the other side of the game. Mm-hmm. Everybody talks about selling drugs, but no one talks about the, like, I done sold drugs, you done sold drugs, but no one talks about the trauma that come with that. The what's it like sitting behind a cell? What's it like seeing your mom? My dad is, you know, was a crack addict for years, and just to see that reality and live under that, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, let's talk about the trauma of that. And then the healing aspect of it is, I'm walking and breathing as a healed individual. You know, I think people want me to be perfect so many times without understanding where I came from, what I came through. Right. And it's like, well, be perfect. And I'm like, look, I'm not as bad as you think I am, but I'm not as good as you think I am either. I'm a human being in the middle trying to walk this thing out as best I can.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Dang, that was, yeah. People in church don't talk like that. I like what you and Tim Ross do.
Yeah.
A whole lot because of that. But I guess one of my questions, and maybe I'll stop asking you faith-based questions.
That's all I love.
Okay. Is at what point so you grew up in this household where your mom is not pressing you to do any, right? And then you find God through your own journey. At what point do you, because you've said you hate the church. You said it on this album.
I said I hated. Hated. Yes.
So what makes you bring people, because when people find God, they go find a physical church. And a lot of times they can't separate the two, right? Yeah. What makes you bring people to a physical church to expose them to what might become a church hate?
I love the church. I love the church, the big C, the people who love God all around the world. It's global. It's not American. The models that we see for church are generally like, sometimes it's an industrial complex. Sometimes it's a system. The work still get done. Like sometimes I get it. It's like, it's an infrastructure. It's a system. There's lights and there's cameras and there's these things. Like it's a oratorical speech being given in music. It's a Broadway production. I get it. That's not what church is. That is a expression from the people who love God. But what church is a gathering of God's people who come together to, you know, as a community, to live out, to celebrate God, to navigate their lifestyle. So some of the other things that get built up that we call church, you know, shout out to my guy Carl Lentz and
salute to Carl.
Yeah,
Carl.
You know, he was a part of that complex. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, they're made, the pastors are made out to be gurus. None of them are gurus. They giraffes on ice skates. They don't got it. They don't got it figured out. You know, but everyone sees them as gurus. So when they fall or slip, they should be responsible. But they've been propped up to be these gurus, and it's like, bro, they fooling themselves thinking they got it all together. So I don't hate the church. I love the church. The expressions we see a lot of times in America, I think, are silly. You know what I'm saying? But I navigate them and I deal with them because that's where we are as a culture. You know what I'm saying? It's like hip hop. It's like, I know what hip hop used to look like. I know what it looks like now. I think some stuff is silly. I think having to make a TikTok go viral for people to enjoy your song is silly, but it's where we are. So I'm not just downing it. I'm not like, that's stupid. Y'all dumb. Y'all lame. It's like, it's where we are.
I love Carl for the same reason I love a lot of your music, is because y'all are not afraid to show people that you made mistakes. Y'all are not afraid to show people that you flawed. Y'all not afraid to show people that you still wrestle with the same things we all wrestle with, the insecurities. Like, I love on Die for the Party when you started off, you said, I was wrestling like, should I write a verse? The culture got enough clout chasing vultures out here trying to prove their worth. They need attention. They can't imagine me not trying to make myself look bigger off of this Kendrick mention. Like, when you hear you rap that, I can hear you wrestling with, man, should I even write this shit, man? Like, you know what I mean? Like, but he did shout me out. I mean, I can't just let this go by.
See, man, that was tough. You right. Dot will throw you a layup, and it's like, do I dunk this or not? Cause I don't, especially for him, cause he got so many clout chasers. He got so many just So for me for Kendrick for Dot to mention me in a song and say, I wonder what Lecrae would do. That first of all, he's paying homage to like my lifestyle, my processing. It's not like Lecrae's a good rapper. He's saying, I wonder what Lecrae would do in this.
He's a good person.
Yeah, this circumstance. And for me, it's like, I didn't want to say nothing. My homie AT, he was like, you need to respond. I said, nah, bro, that's lame. Like, it's nasty. It just feels nasty. And he was like, bro, the world is watching, the world is listening. The man said your name.
He asked you a question.
He did ask me a question. And so I was like, I'll try. And I really didn't even like it when I was writing it. And then
that verse fire.
I see, I didn't even like it. And then it just, so I sent Dot the whole album and I said, pick a song, man. I'm waiting. I ain't heard nothing back. So
I love the last line on there. You said, love is patient, so I'm trusting in the narrative, and Christ ain't watched the party die.
He died
instead of it. What does that mean?
Basically, like, on the song, he was saying on his song, watch the party die. It's kind of like, it's like, man, y'all. He sees the dysfunction, and he's like, ugh, you know what I mean? And we all see the dysfunction, and we all like, ugh. But if we really want to end all the evil that exists out there, that means we gonna die too, because there's evil that exists in here.
That's right. So
you got to be also mad at yourself. And Jesus didn't sit back and say, yeah, y'all are disgusting. He said, I'm gonna take that disgust on myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna lay my life down and let y'all walk across my back to cleanliness and to wholeness instead of condemning y'all. I'm gonna reach my hand out to save y'all. So that was the picture I was painting, instead of just being condemning. Because when you see something that you hate, you're like, ugh. But then you gotta look in the mirror sometimes and be like, ugh. And if I want it all to go, I gotta go with it. So Jesus is like, yeah, it's whack, but I'll take your ugliness on me. You know what I mean? So.
Because Kendrick said, F these N-words up or show them what prayer do. So you showing them what prayer do.
Right.
Empathy.
Yeah.
That's how I got it.
Yeah.
I said that earlier and you was like, I ain't hear that. That wasn't right.
What, when Kendrick said?
What you said.
That is what I said. I said, what I said was, from what I took from your verse, you decided, or you self-reflected and you said, I can't watch the party die, because if the party had died, I would have died too. Because I was that is what I said. I said, because you felt like you were a part of what people are saying is disgusting at one point. You had to find your mission.
Yeah, for sure.
That's literally what I said. And you said I didn't hear that.
She didn't say that. She heard you say that eloquently.
Lecrae,
No.
She
repeated what
fighting
you
all
said.
day long.
He
These
be
girls
trying to make it
fighting
seem
all
like
day long.
basically that's what I took from it. He said something else, but we gonna let him rock.
But I do have a question. So,
Yeah.
record with Killer Mike and T.I. Crazy.
Ooh, headphones.
Do you get
Bless y'all.
people, when you ask people for, like, you send your album to KDot or you send songs to other artists, a lot of times do artists not want to do it because they put you in that box? Or do they question themselves because you...
They won't say that.
Box?
They've never said it overtly. I'm sure that's an issue for people. I've never heard it. When people get to know me, there's a level of respect. So, like, me and Mike go years back. Like, Killer Mike and I are good friends. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my dog. But I mean, we've had some conversations. Obviously we don't agree on everything, but he respects me and I respect him. And so it's like this mutual respect where it's like, I see where you at and I'm gonna come on your playing field and rock with you there. There might be some other people who like, now why would we do something? Now why would I fool with him? They ain't never said it to me, but I be feeling like, in my experience, people closet their faith and they look for outlets to express it. And then I give them that outlet a lot of times. Like they like, I remember when, I don't know about faith wise, but I know 21 Savage has said somewhere along the line, like, he wish he didn't have to rap about the stuff he rap about all the time. And it's like, that's what people expect of him. And I'm like, I think there's a lot of people who feel like that in the faith world. And it's like, yes, this gave me a chance to say what I really wanted to say. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I don't know, man. If that's how they feel, that's how they feel.
I think people like that have never listened to your music. Because when I listen to Headphones, that's not a gospel record. That's not a faith-based record. That's a record about grief.
Yep.
And there's three brothers that are dealing with various levels of grief and different people that they're grieving, and they're just expressing that. And even that saying, what you say, I hope you got headphones in heaven.
Heaven, yeah.
Oh man, honestly, it just gave me chills. Like, damn, like,
Yeah.
but that's a dope way of saying, yo, I hope that D can hear me.
Yep. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. I try to find common ground. That's what I try to do. Like, where's our common ground? Because, like, the Reconstruction album is not just like reconstructing your faith. There's reconstruct your marriage, reconstruct your life, reconstruct your finances. Like, there's common ground. I may have a different angle on, but I'm still living the same life you live in. Like, I'm still out here experiencing it. Like, I'm going to lose people. You going to lose people. I'm going to deal with family issues. You're going to deal with family issues. So I'm like, let's talk about it in song. And, you know, I catch a lot of flack. Like, man, I love my dude, Big Crit, man. We did a feature years ago, my Christian, the religious folks, the religious fans blasted him so bad. It made him feel, they was blasting me, saying, how dare you collaborate with this like worldly artist. It made him feel a way about Christians, because they was on my head. And he was like, am I this filthy, ugly, nasty person? Like, dang. And I'm like, man, why would you not want to welcome somebody into the conversation about these things? Why you want to shun them and push them away instead of welcoming them in to have conversations? So I want to reconstruct that. I want to like reconstruct that type of dynamic in relationship and redefine people's experience with Christians, because I think it's a weird dynamic. You know what I'm saying? It's really weird in America.
Has that worked for you? I saw your response to Young Thug when he tweeted, if you're a rapper and you're a rat, you got to just go gospel twin. And you tried to reach out and kind of give him that, like, hey, it's good over here. It's not a graveyard, it's a garden. Have y'all spoke? Nah,
but I'm down. Like, Thug, holla at me. I mean, I it's not a graveyard. It's a garden. We thriving. We growing. I got health. My life comes with the same hardships anybody else's life. You won't get wisdom without suffering. So you gonna suffer. But I don't be worried about no, warrants. You know what I'm saying? I go home to my wife on a regular basis. I'm raising my kids. We have great relationship dynamic. Like, I got accolades. I got awards. That's not what I do it for. I pay my bills on time. I'm fine. I'm not in a graveyard. And I guess to me, I'm like, why do rats have to go to gospel? Like, what is it? To me, it sounds like that's a lame place for we send the lames over there. And I'm like, okay. I mean, in a sense, you're right, because Jesus makes the lame walk. You know
they used to do that too whenever like an artist would get in trouble. Like an artist would get in trouble, they'd be like, all right, he got to make a gospel album now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I seen that. I've seen artists get in trouble and my phone be ringing. Hey, you need to make a song. I'm like,
no, man, cut it out.
I'm dead serious.
Ooh.
I ain't naming no names.
I love the Brick by Brick record too, because when I saw it, I'm like, all right, what Lecrae about to do with this one? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What was the mindset with that?
Brick by Brick, you know what I'm saying, is really just a song about building, man. If you're going to reconstruct something, you do it brick by brick, you know what I'm saying?
But you played it out like it might have been dope.
I mean, yes, but you know what I'm saying? It's a play on words. It's a double entendre. It's also tapping into my, old ways, but then it's like, it's a different types of brick, you know what I'm saying, that I'm moving these days. And then I got this young spitter Mizo, you know what I'm saying? She out of Houston and she fire. And I was like, yo, that's another thing. It's a whole young crop of artists who killing it. And it's like, man, I'm just trying to shine some light. As an OG now, I'm like, let me shine some light back on these young artists and let them do their thing. Because when I first came up, it was just me. And I was like, man, it's just me out here. I'm doing the BET Cypher.
Yeah.
Them jokers put me in an international cypher. They didn't even know what category to put me in. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, man, I don't know what. So now it's like, nah, I'm not rolling solo no more. I'm opening doors for everybody.
When you was in the street selling dope, and I know you probably used to pray it in, but can God bless? Can God really bless the trap niggas?
He did.
Okay.
You ain't heard. I don't know if you heard my Bible story, bro. I was making a run. I'm trespassing on school property. I was wilding. I was at a high school on school property. They say, call the police. I thought I looked like a high school student, but I clearly didn't. They called the police. The police came. I'm ditching. I'm running up out the school. I get back to my car. As soon as I get to my car with work in my car, the police snatched me up. I didn't have a lot, and that wasn't no keys. I wasn't I wasn't Jay-Z out here. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not trying to put his business out here. I'm just saying I wasn't Pusha. But the police come and they snatched me up. Now the crazy part about it was I had a Bible in my car that my grandmother had given me, and I was at this point I'm a Christian, but I'm just wilding. I'm just on a downward trajectory. But I was reading my Bible a lot, and I had some phases where I highlighted a lot of stuff. I got notes in that joint. I got it on a dash. The police officer comes in I'm sitting in the back of the car. He searched my car, and he come back. He said, "That's your Bible?" I said, "Yeah, that's my Bible." He said, "You been reading that, huh?" I said, "Yes, sir. I need to read it more." He said, "I want you to stay in that Bible. Get out of my car." And I was like, "Okay." I go back to my car. Work gone. Work is gone.
Wow.
I don't know if that was an angel or a real police officer. I don't know I don't ask no questions. I'm here though.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So.
Wow. When you're writing, how do you discern between what's meant for, like, I guess, the booth and what's meant for, like, the prayer closet?
For me, if it exposes somebody else's business, I try not to rap about it unless I get their approval. You know, because I tell a lot of stories and I got a lot of people involved in different stuff. And, you know, if it's too personal, if they like, "Hey, you telling my story now, bro," then I'm like, "You right. I respect that." So then I try to respect that. Myself, I don't mind being transparent. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to my man, Jason Wilson. I see y'all had him on the pod
Love
too.
Jason,
he my dude. He said, "Stop saying be vulnerable, be transparent."
Right, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, that's good. So, you know, I don't want to put myself in a position where my hands is up and you can do whatever you want to do to me, but I want to be open and transparent so that you can relate. You can see my scars. Because if you see my scars, then you know your wounds can heal. So I don't mind sharing some of the stuff that I got, but I just try to keep other people's business out of it. I take that to the prayer closet. You know what I mean?
So what does it mean to be in the world, right? But not of it. But your job as an MC is to move crowds in it. In
the world. Yeah. I mean, you be in it. You know what I'm saying? I was of it for a season. I had my season. I talk about it on my, you know, I've been like sober like 8 years. I've been, you know, people don't understand this industry will get you.
Word.
Like, they don't get it. Like, fame is fake. It's a drug. It's not real. But boy, when you know, 10 years ago, I had a #1 album in the country, like over everybody calling my phone, all my favorite artists, you get gassed. You start like, oh man, I'm somebody. And you forget you was already somebody. God knew you before any of these other people did. So I was in my, you know, I got absorbed. And what ended up happening for me is I was not in the world and I was of it, but I was trying to fight it. And I was trying to play tug of war. It wasn't like I just gave up. It was like I had moments. I dip in, dip out. So you can't play tug of war by yourself. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm out here. I'm more confident in who I am. I keep people with me, and I want to relate. You know what I'm saying? I'm also not tempted by the same stuff. I think a lot of times people will be like, "Why are you over there?" I'm like, bro, that's so 10 years ago. Like, that don't do nothing for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I am not tempted by half of the things that used to be a temptation. Like, I'm past that phase in life. I'm sure you are. If you was to blaze up right now, I wouldn't be like, "Oh God, what do I do? What do I do? Do I take it or not?" I just be like, I'm not smoking. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So.
Well, you say you keep people with you.
Yeah.
Is it because sometimes too, when people get into like the spiritual realm of like having this relationship with God, they separate from anybody that is not at the same place in the journey. Yeah. So who are the people that you keep with you?
Nah, I keep two types of people, or really 3 types of people with me. I keep people who are a half a step ahead of me, people are walking alongside of me, and people are half a step behind me. You know what I'm saying? So if you were half a step ahead of me, I can learn something from you. You know, I feel like Jason Wilson, half a step ahead of me. I'm like, man, I can learn something from Jason.
About 3 or 4 from me.
You know what I'm saying? So I keep people like that around me. People who are half a step, who walking alongside of me, like, yeah, we on the same page, on the same mission. And people who half a step, I keep young hitters with me all the time because I want them to see, learn, grow, build. You know what I'm saying? And so, and you got to know you can learn from anybody as well. So that's what I try to expose them to is like, I want the youngins to see I'm not like starstruck. I want the people who next to me to get exposed as well. Cause I'm like, I'm sitting here with entrepreneur, podcast guru. It's like I can sit and learn from them, and I want my peers to have access to that and be able to take knowledge as well. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
I love what you're doing, man, because I feel like there's a lot of people turning away from like traditional faith structures, and they're looking for God in other things. And I think it's the artists and the pastors, because I give Pastor Torre and Pastor Sarah J. Roberts so much credit. It's the pastors like that that are meeting people where they are.
Facts.
You know, that's going to really going to reintroduce hope.
Yep.
To a generation.
I'm 100% with it, and I mean, you know, some are gonna be non-traditional, some are gonna be traditional. You just gotta run in your lane. You know, I run in my lane. I love different people who got different applications, and it's not me against anybody else. You know, it's me. I ain't trying to compete with you. I'm trying to eat with you. You know what I mean? So I want to see the church thrive. I want to see people like find God and really be consistent. And you know, I got to be consistent, number one, but then two, I know everybody. I know what I needed. I needed a group of dudes from Philly with baggy pants and cornrows to say, I love the Lord. And I was like, word. I needed that. You know what I'm saying? You would have never got me with the traditional, you know, come on in, son, and meet the Lord. I would have never came. So I just try to be what I needed.
What did Kendrick say when he heard that for the party?
I don't know. Honestly, I ain't talked to Dot like one-on-one in a minute. We got some of the same friends. So the last thing I heard was, yo, they rocking with it. And they was he was in the middle of doing Super Bowl stuff. So, you know what I'm saying? So it was like one of them type of situations. But I did send him the whole project. And I was, you know, I'll put a yay on him and like redo the album if he send that verse in. Like, you know what I'm saying?
What song
like,
did you want him on?
I don't care. Just pick one. Yeah. But Die for the Party would be hard because, so hard. It'd be hard. So, yeah, I'm with it.
Well, let's get into it.
H2O. He'd have been hard on H2O.
H2O. I feel you. Okay. All right, Shy. So you tapped in.
Nah, he'd have been hard on H2O.
Let's get into a joint off the album. What you want to hear?
I want to play the joint with T.I. and
let's play headphones.
Mike.
Let's play headphones.
All right, well, let's get into it. We appreciate you for joining us. The album comes out on the 22nd of August. Am I right? Yes, August 22nd.
Yeah.
Reconstruction. Make sure you get it.
I would love to have you at the Mental Wealth Expo, man. You know, I do this thing every year called the Mental Wealth Expo, and, you know, I think a religious trauma panel would be really incredible, man.
Bruh, say less. I'm there. It's easy. It's light work.
That'd be so
Yeah, say less.
All right. Well, it's Lecrae. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Hold up. Every day I wake up, wake your ass up. The Breakfast Club.
Y'all finished or y'all done?